when I walk around in my normal day, when I think of sleep orchestration, to me, it's about my larger self coordinating my day to a degree in order to put things in front of me that I need to address. And it will keep doing that over and over and over.
The universe will put things in front of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. And if I don't deal with them, then they come up again and again and again. And the process of dealing with them.
Well, your vibration is where you last left it. But we are not proponents. We think it would be just fine to let some of those old, unpleasant pipes that were leading to old, unpleasant experiences close up from neglect.
Yeah.
You can't get to the bottom of anything. There's no bottom. So the more you try to address it, the more you just open the pipe and lead to it, you see. And so since you have access to things that feel good, if we were standing in your physical shoes, that's what we would reach for. So tell us again, what did you mean? Because you had a very strong point that you were making that we did our best to derail, but didn't quite. So we want to hear it again.
Okay.
There are things that happen that I have to deal with that if I don't deal with...
No. I keep presenting these things to myself because they're important, and I really want to work them out. And then sometimes I avoid them, and sometimes I'm ready for it, and I just go, all right. And then they just dissolve, and I move forward, and I have a really good experience.
Right. So what kinds of things do you mean, for example?
Relationships with people, mainly. It's the way when things come up in a relationship, if it feels negative, that I see it as a positive thing that I've literally created rather than something that someone's forced upon me. So I basically take ownership of my life because I believe that I literally am creating.
Well, we don't disagree with anything that you're saying. We're just only wanting to insert the getting on the high-flying disc before you engage, because what we notice is that once you are consistently doing that, and once that's what matters most to you, and once you are willing to not visit with that friend because it commonly doesn't make you feel very good, or you take a different route to work because that one is congested. In other words, you're literally doing the things that make you feel the best. You are setting yourself up for success. And the only success that we were asking you to reach for is that emotional success of finding the high-flying disc. So you've just given it your attention for a while until you're accomplishing it on a really steady basis. And what you begin to notice is that those issues resolve themselves because who you are and what you want is so known by the source within you that when you find steady resonance with all of that so that you are blended with that non-physical mind, then the inspiration, the things that occur to you, the timing of your conversations, the timing of your phone calls, the timing of your entry into everything is just inspired from that broader perspective. You see, we haven't talked about this as clearly today, and let's take a moment and do it. The process of deliberate creation, of any creation, but we want to talk about deliberate creation. There are 3 steps to it. Step 1 happens automatically because the exposure to life just causes you to identify a clearer and clearer desire. So that's step 1. It happens automatically by being focused in this time-space reality. You can't stop it. You really can't even do that much to enhance it. It's just a byproduct, as you just eloquently said, of your life experience. So off goes the expanded version of you, which begs the question, how close to the expanded version of you are you? But we'll save that question for a moment. Step 2 is source becomes the vibrational equivalent of your expansion. So vibrationally speaking, you've already taken that expansion, that interdimensional thing that you were talking about doing while you're sleeping. You become that non-physical version. You know it, you own it vibrationally. But that is the non-physical version of you, which you have options of all day long of being a vibrational match to or not. So that's step 3. You have the option of being a vibrational match to this non-physical version when you wake up or not. You have the option of being a vibrational match to all that you've become when you wake up or not. And the or not, or the doing it or not, is dependent upon what you're doing vibrationally. Because this is a frequency. This pure positive energy, expanded version of you, your interdimensional expansion that you've experienced, all of that stuff that you've been living, it has a vibrational frequency that if you're not on the wavelength of it, you're not going to have a demonstration of it in your physical life experience. So when you wake up, you're either there or you're not. And the way you feel is the indication of that alignment or that not alignment. As soon as you wake up, You're there just for a moment. You're there. You're just there for a moment. And if you can acknowledge, I'm there. I don't really know what that means. I don't know how long I'll be here, but I accept that I am the non-physical equivalent of this pure positive energy. Now, if you've been listening to us for a while, then you could jump in with some things like, which means today's going to be a really good day. And today I'm going to have clarity that is really superb. And I'm expecting lots of wonderful rendezvous with lots of people. And I'm really happy to be alive in my physical body. I'm glad to do the physical part that I came here to do. And I'm so excited that I have this non-physical backup and all this non-physical energy. Now that's a really general and rather extreme acknowledgement on your part. I'm pure positive energy right now, and I'm going to see if I can keep this momentum going. And if I don't, it doesn't matter. I can push the reset button tomorrow, or today through meditation, or today through some naps or tools that I have. Precisely. Or through some distraction.
Bicycles.
Say again?
Riding bicycles.
As I come into pure positive energy with who I am. And now, this day gives you evidence of what you've accomplished. And so you begin to gain your sense of stability in this. You begin to recognize your power. Within a few days, you begin to feel sort of invincible. Now, here's the conversation that we've been waiting to have with you today. You begin to notice that the things that you lightly are contemplating are flowing easily into your experience. Because in the light feeling, in the absence of effort feeling, in the light, so light, maybe it's because it's unimportant, maybe because it's unimportant, I haven't been beating the drum of it, and so I don't have a lot of momentum going in opposition to it. But in the lightness of it, the universe demonstrates it in some obvious way. So this is what brought Esther to the question. The lightness seems like the opposite of effort. So when I find myself trying, which is, we hear that from you a little bit, in the realization that you're trying, you might want to stop and say, this trying could be counterproductive. I'm efforting, which means I'm not engaging the energy that creates worlds, which means I think I'll just give this another run tomorrow. And as you do that and do that and do that, you're going to find that effort is not a factor in your experience. You're going to find that trying and struggle are not a factor in your experience. You're going to begin to discover that things that you want lightly come easily. So there's something important to be talking about there. How can I feel light about something I've been so intense about for so long? And we say, by giving it a rest. By giving it a rest. By focusing on some other things for a while. Or by getting as general about it as you can. And things just work out. They just work out. Funny thing to hear from someone who's teaching you about deliberate creation. Deliberate creation. Deliberate creation is about tuning your frequency. Deliberate creation is about feeling your emotions and knowing what they're telling. Deliberate creation is about understanding the relationship between who you really are and what you really want and what you're doing right here and now. Deliberate creation is about chilling out so that there's no resistance and then focusing. It's about tending to the frequency first and then applying the thought. Oh, all right now. Abraham, you said that I think and then I feel. So are you actually taking thought back to the element of frequency? Yep. Can you find a frequency without a thought? Can you feel the frequency of love? Can you feel the frequency of love? Now, don't get carried away about who you love or who you loved or anything like that. Just feel the frequency of love. Can you feel the frequency of love? Can you feel the frequency of enthusiasm? Can you feel the frequency of fun? So it's possible to feel a frequency by interpreting it through emotion in a sort of thoughtless place. That's all we're asking you to do. That's the thing to do first thing in the morning. Wake up and enjoy the non-thought. Don't be too quick to try to figure out what this day means and where you have to go and what you have to do. Just give yourself, if you can, 68 seconds of just basking in the energy, in the non-action, non-verbal, even non-thought vibrational frequency. Just give it a chance and see what happens. And then watch how the thoughts begin to follow suit. It is our promise to you. Get that momentum going and you'll be off on the right foot. And as soon as tomorrow, you'll have a day unlike any other day that you've ever had. We're not kidding you. Give it a month, and you'll feel absolute control of your experience. And when people see the difference in the way you feel, they'll say, what are you doing? And you say, it's kind of hard to describe. I'm doing a lot less than I've ever done before. Well, what do you mean? Well, I'm focused upon the way I feel. Well, what does that mean? It means I don't want to talk about this with you anymore. There's a really good chance you're going to talk me off my high-flying disc. Well, what are you smoking? Well, it's not like that. This is a non-drug high. It's a non-drug alignment. It's alignment that has always been there for me that now I'm consciously tapping into. It's alignment that I've been stumbling on all my life, just didn't know how to maintain it. Didn't know how to create it to begin with and didn't know how to maintain it. Now I do, so I'm doing a more consistent job of it. So I've got more momentum going. So I've got more airtime happening, more vibrational airtime, more attention, more verbal time, more stuff from me about those pipes that I want to keep open. What pipes are you talking about? Well, you see, there's this path of least resistance between me and everything else. And it's a path of least resistance between me and what I want, and it's a path of least resistance between me and what I don't want. It's a path of least resistance. And I'm just keeping the pathway open on the things that I care about. Well, how do you know the difference? Things I care about that I really want feel good to me when I think about them. When I'm focused upon what I want, it always feels good. When I'm focused in opposition, it never feels good. Oh, seems too simplistic to me, they'll say. I know, it did to me at first. That's why I tried to make it harder than it needed to be. I mean, harder than it needed to be for quite a while. And then who knew? I'm supposed to feel good. Life is supposed to be fun. I have endless unseen energies that have my back, who know what I want, who are pointing the way. I had no idea the leverage, the creative energy that was available to me until I started pointing it. Well, what have you accomplished with this? Well, I feel great. I know, but what else? Well, I just feel wonderful. Well, what else? Well, it's too much to tell. Well, tell me something. Well, I just feel great. I feel great, and mostly nice people are around me, and people who used to bother me aren't coming around, and some of them that used to bother me don't bother me anymore. And ideas come more easily to me. I'm more intuitive. I'm more clear-minded. The things that occur to me occur in better timing, so when I act on them, I get more immediate results. The things that I want are just flowing into my experience. My day-to-day moments are really exciting. I used to look forward to a vacation and kind of put up with everything before it. And now every day feels sort of like that vacation. I have that lighthearted feeling all day, even when you're at work. Yeah, especially when I'm at work, because I feel purposeful there and I feel momentum there. And there's this give and take thing that happens with me at work where we're all winning as a result of our co-creating together. It's some of the best time that I spend is when I'm at work. So many lovely people in this world. Have you noticed? Well, not so much. I haven't noticed that so much. Well, that's because I'm on my high-flying disc. I know that's what. Well, now tell me about this stupid disc. How did you get on this high-flying disc? I was born there. I was born there. I talked myself out of it with a lot of help from others who had forgotten about it too. But no, I mean, how did you get on it today? Well, I thought you'd never ask. Well, this morning when I woke up, I just thought happy thoughts. So that's your philosophy. You just think happy thoughts. Yeah? I stopped watching television for the most part. There's some shows I really like that I'm recording and watching, fast forwarding through all the commercials, which means television won't be around for long because, just think happy thoughts. Hang around with people who feel good mostly. Think of reasons to feel good. But mostly, I just get up looking for a reason to feel good and almost always find it immediately. And then I milk it.